Look, I'm sorry it took so long, but I think what it is they want me to be a teacher to looters, and you need to know why it is so hard to defund the police. Because before it gets to the police, there's all of these other kickbacks that it has to go through first, especially if it's a big deal. And there's really nothing in this country that's more leverageable than public education or things having to do with the safety and welfare of children. So before we get there, I just did what I needed to do in order to make the deal for the energy sector connected to that California Texas pipeline they set up in the 80s. They didn't tell you about that. You don't see an actual physical metal pipe between northern Texas and Los Angeles. That's not the kind of pipeline they were talking about for the gas and oil sector when they were talking about that Texas California pipeline, right? That's not what they were talking about. But in order for me to make whatever the fucking deal is that I needed to make, in order for you to get your bail bonds covered, I need to make the deposit into the police pension fund. And here it is. And you guys are so lucky because at the same time, if you're prudent and you know what I'm talking about and you really wanted to get on those Egypt deals, then you know exactly what this diversion is. But I can't tell you publicly because if I did that, see, it just didn't take a second. Don't worry. It's not a problem. And it's in the Washington Times. So if you're, dealing with some sort of central counterparty strategy, you already got your post option, don't you? Trump calls widow of California cop allegedly slain by illegal immigrant. We hit all the major benchmarks with this one, guys. President Trump on Thursday called the family and colleagues of slain California police officer Ronil Singh, who was killed on the day after Christmas, allegedly by an illegal immigrant. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said the president praised Officer Singh's service to his fellow citizens, offered condolences, and commended law enforcement's rapid investigation, response, and apprehension of the suspect. Prosecutors have charged illegal alien Gustavo Perez Arriaga with shooting to death the 33-year-old Newman, California police officer, after he was pulled over on suspicion of drunk driving. The great thing about this is that it was published 3 days after there was an implementation of a Department of Transportation database specific to registering commercially licensed drivers that had a drunk driving conviction. So you hit your local police pension fund and you hit the state, don't you? And I don't know if I made my Dallas bid, but I'm talking about interstate racketeering. And the people who referred me should have already fucking know they made the entirely wrong fucking decision.